Tax compliance at scale is no longer a tax problem, it's a systems problem. If you look at how most businesses handle taxes today, you will see fragmented transactional data, inconsistent file formats, jurisdiction-specific rules, manual data entry on portals, spreadsheet-based reconciliations, and human review loops. So the question becomes, how do we make compliance more intuitive and accessible for all customers so that it's always on, partner embeddable, and still auditable? That's what Returns Agent and Returns DevMCP Server are built to solve. Tax compliance at scale is no longer just a tax workflow. It's a data, process, and orchestration challenge. Transactions, journals, marketplaces, and tax engines rarely arrive in one clean model. Tax rules, forms, and filing calendars differ by jurisdiction and by return type. And even when tax calculation is fully automated, returns filing often collapses back into manual data reentry on portals. Rows and rows of spreadsheets, email loops, fast approaching deadlines, tracking calendars, and notice management chaos. Let's define the real integration problem. Today, compliance requires stitching together ERP exports, marketplace data, tax calc transactions, manual journal entries, country-specific forms, submission credentials, and notice workflows. Engineering teams end up building custom data pipelines, mapping layers, format converters, validation logic, and then maintaining them forever. This is slow, error-prone, and expensive to scale. So instead of asking, how do we connect more systems, we ask, what if compliance became an intelligent execution layer? The more a business grows, the more brittle the compliance system becomes. New regions and forms are added. New rules and filing deadlines are introduced. New marketplaces add more integrations. And if you're an e-commerce platform embedding compliance into your own platform, it becomes even more complex. With that problem framed, let me introduce the Returns Agent. Returns Agent is an agentic, AI-powered returns execution layer. It turns messy, multi-source compliance data into tax returns that are prepared accurately, filed and paid on time through a single execution layer. It supports a chat-first experience for customers and an API-first interface for partners. Behind the scenes, it orchestrates ingestion, validation, anomaly detection, filing, and payments. We're building an experience that utilizes AI to reduce manual work, improve accuracy, and connect into a broad integration ecosystem. This is the value proposition of utilizing AI. Here's what it looks like in product. Imagine a financial controller exporting CSV files from an ERP, downloading marketplace reports, emailing spreadsheets to a managed services team, and then waiting for status update. With Returns Agent, that same financial controller can say, here are my data sources. Get me ready to file for any of the US, Canada, and international VAT jurisdictions this month. The agent does the heavy lifting. We are applying agent intelligence where judgment is required. The result is faster time to file, reduced manual touch, better explainability, and lower integration overhead. We ingest and match data from multiple sources, we validate the data and apply the rules. And all of it moves toward file returns and payments with human approval and an immutable audit trail. That's only half the story. Now let's talk about partners. If you're building an e-commerce platform and are interested in embedding tax compliance functions within your own ecosystem, you want embedded experience inside your own workflow with native UI, native support, and faster time to market without rebuilding a compliance engine. That is where the DevMCP server comes in. And we are already seeing this play out with partners like Xero. They made a very explicit decision to embed Avalara in their product. This gives their customer a complete compliance workflow without ever leaving Zero platform. Returns DevMCP server exposes composable tools through Model Context Protocol, enabling partners to build a first-class returns experience for their customers. A partner's copilot can call tools that map back to our platform. Your agent talks to our agent. This is agent-to-agent compliance, and it dramatically reduces time to market for partners. Let's go deeper technically. Returns agent is built on managed return services, channel-ready returns API with GraphQL-first architecture. The mental model is simple: thin, partner-specific experiences at the edge, and a deep compliance system where the complexities are abstracted away from partners. Every tool invocation maps back to returns platform operations, deterministic workflows, and auditable state transitions. Partners inherit our compliance capabilities, SOC 2 controls, and governance. How do we preserve accuracy and auditability? Here's how. The DevMCP server enforces this discipline. Every partner-built experience resolves to a deterministic, traceable filing event. And this is exactly why certification matters in this space. Customers need to trust that what is happening is accurate, validated, and built the right way. Certification equals to trust, validation, and accuracy. If you are thinking about how to apply this model to your own regulated workflow, here's the playbook. Separate the intelligence from determinism. At Avalara, we have 20+ years of experience in building a solid compliance platform. And now, with the power of agentic AI and the DevMCP server bringing this compliance foundation into your product is even easier than ever. Now let's show you how we are building this inside Avalara. Hi, Marcus. As my engineering director, we need your teams to build and ship this by yesterday. Also, this is a fast-moving space, so new requirements will come from all directions.
Yeah, Erol, I knew you were going to say that. I'm way ahead of you. I thought about that the day before yesterday. I'd like to share some about a new agentic engineering toolkit that helps teams at Avalara build and maintain the very application you just described. We're using the same agentic patterns, but in this case, we're using them to do the product engineering itself. We call this internal tool Johnny. In the last few months, we've seen incredible improvements in what's possible with agentic coding agents. It's become clear that it's high time to start giving agents more autonomy while still ensuring that our human developers have the last word in shipping good code. Inside the team, we say that our job is to walk the line between experimentation and accountability. We move fast enough to take advantage of AI agents while maintaining full confidence in the code we ship for the returns platform. Johnny is the first expression of that, and it's already live. What I'm saying is that in addition to building an agentic experience for tax professionals and partners, we also built one for ourselves. We gave engineers an internal AI coworker that deeply understands tax returns with the help of the DevMCP server and Managed Returns API. With this agent, we can build complete workflows end to end. Now, when a new requirement comes in, we don't start from a blank page. Johnny helps us understand the issue, gather context, analyze it, and even writes the code and tests. When it's done, it hands off to developers on my team for human review. Everything it does has human oversight. Johnny is not just an engineering demo. It's another proof point for how Avalara can operationalize agentic workflows responsibly. The immediate value is triage and faster requirement understanding for product managers and support. But it doesn't stop there. Johnny also writes code that engineers can review and ship instead of having to write it from scratch. As AI coding agents continue to improve, we'll move even closer to full autonomous agentic engineering. Eventually, we expect to see end-to-end ticket delivery with greater confidence in the quality of work than was ever possible with human-only engineers. So yeah, Erol, we're building it by yesterday. This is an exciting time to be a software engineer, and the possibilities are endless. Now, I'm gonna hand it back to you before I accidentally commit to shipping something else.
Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. Let's zoom out. Returns agent allows us to transform messy compliance workflows, reduce onboarding friction, and accelerate time to file. The DevMCP server allows partners to move fast, innovate in their own platform, and inherit Avalara's compliance capabilities. That's the partners first strategy. When partners win, we win. All right, let's see this in action. This is the DevMCP server working with my coding copilot. I will give it a prompt, defining the app, the workflows, and some strict guidelines. It has to discover APIs from docs, introspect the GraphQL schema, validate every query before execution, and build against real return services. And then I let the coding agents take it from there. Now, this takes a few minutes to build end to end. So I'm going to jump to a completed run. What you're looking at here is a fully generated app, all built out. So here's the result of a fully functional application already populated with demo data. You've got companies set up, filing calendars wired in, and the complete onboarding flow end to end. That's the power of treating compliance as an execution layer. Thank you.